I'm Earl Stewart. I welcome you to Earl Stewart on Cars Mystery Shopping Report.
Our mystery shopping report comes from Sutherlin Nissan, right there in Vero Beach.
Vero Beach, Florida. It's just about 25, 30 miles, 40 miles. I hate to give away the ending to a story, but I just want you to hear me say, this is not fiction. This really happened. Because when you hear this, you're not going to believe it. Okay, I'm speaking in the first person as if I were Agent Lightning. I arrived in the morning and was greeted by a salesman standing outside as I arrived. He asked me if I was there to see something specific. I told him I didn't have an appointment, but was hoping to get a new car that day. His smile widened, and he asked what type of car I was interested in. A sedan, SUV, small, large. I expressed my desire for something fuel efficient, easy to navigate, and not too costly. He suggested that we look at the lot, and we walked over to where the 2023 Nissan Sentras were parked. I noticed that none of the cars had window stickers.
Uh-oh.
Those are Monroney labels.
Uh-oh.
None of them displaying their prices. When I asked about this, he replied that the price listings were inside the vehicles, not on the windows. Like, duh. I mean, like I should have known that. Well, of course, our regular listeners know, and I think a lot of people know, that it is federal law that requires, mandates, that the official factory sticker, also called the Monroney label, must be affixed at the manufacturer, by the manufacturer, when the car is built, and cannot be removed by anyone other than the customer. Now, you don't literally have to remove it, but the customer has to say, please take off that window sticker. I just bought this car. That's federal law.
Yeah.
You know, the fine is $1,000 per offense. So if they had 100 cars in stock, all of them without Monroney labels, that's a $100,000 fine that should be assessed. So where is the enforcement of these rules and regulations we have? So the salesperson was just nonchalant and said, hey, you know, of course there's no window stickers on the cars. We put them inside the cars. After perusing the lot, I decided on a Sentra. He asked if I wanted him to get the keys. I said yes, and he headed inside while I continued to look around. Upon his return, he insisted on showing me the spacious trunk before we headed out for a test drive. That's curious. The Monroney label was laminated and lying on the seat. The MSRP was $21,490. The addendum was also laminated. It added $10,000 extra for things like paint protection, microbial interior spray. That's a throwback to the COVID days. Nitrogen-filled tires, good old nitrogen. The air you breathe, by the way, in case you haven't checked on this, is 78% nitrogen, so they're putting air in your tires. Etch, it's a theft deterrent, glass etch, and a bunch of other stuff that will be banned by the new rules proposed by the Federal Trade Commission. So that's got the dealers all excited, very unhappy about some of these junk fees and useless overpriced accessories that are packed into the price of cars. During our short test drive, we drove up US 1, made a U-turn at the first red light, and then returned. That was a quickie test drive, not the type you should insist upon if you're going to buy a car. If you have the car that you want to buy, by all means, give it a serious test drive, meaning hours, not minutes, and preferably a day or two. Drive that car in the same circumstances that you would drive your own car if you had owned that car. On the way, he asked me if I planned to trade in my current vehicle. I told him no, that I would also need a new license plate. I explained that we currently had 4 drivers, plus one on a permit, and only 2 cars. He quickly agreed that the Sentra would be the perfect addition to our fleet. Back at the dealership, we sat down at his desk where he asked for my driver's license and finally introduced himself as Marco. After making a copy of my license, he inquired about my credit score, asked if I planned to lease or finance. I responded I would either pay cash or finance, depending on any available incentives. He interrupted to suggest that if I didn't finance, they would need to add an additional $2,500. So, again, the deception will grow as we continue this shopping report. But the price that they led you to believe made the assumption for you that you were going to finance. Now, there's a lot of cash buyers. A lot of people don't want finance. Interest rates are high, and people have their reasons for not wanting to finance. But they made the assumption that Agent Lighting was going to finance the car so that they could take $2,500 off and make it look like it was cheaper than it was. He advised that I should finance and then pay it off after a few months, which is a very deceptive thing to do. It's deceptive to the lender. It's also deceptive to the buyer because there's a huge penalty that you pay.
And the dealer.
And the dealer.
They're going to get charged back.
Yeah, the dealer, well, who cares about the dealer? But you have, it's called Rule of 78. So when you finance a car and you pay it off early, you're not getting back all the interest. You're only getting back a fraction of that interest. And the interest that you paid, you never recover. So he was giving you some very bad advice. And implying that it was a smart thing to do so you could get the $2,500 rebate. Not true. I asked to see the cost for both options, financing, and paying cash. He excused himself. And I assumed he was going to get the pricing information that I just asked for. Instead, he returned with a questionnaire. The deception is going deeper and deeper, folks. The questionnaire wanted to know how I intend to purchase the car, my credit status, military service. There's something rotten in the state of Denmark here. Recent graduation. Now, why would they want to know that, etc.? After I responded no to all the questions, he left with a completed form. Upon his return, he presented me with a sheet detailing the cost. The market value selling price was $31,490, but there was a discount of $10,750, which made their adjusted price $20,375. Now, I know you're getting dizzy with the numbers. If you were buying from Sutherlin Nissan, you'd be dizzy too, and the numbers are coming fast and furious and deceptive. But then they added $3,000 for COLL, and then MIL, these are all caps, COMLTTER. This made total price $23,375. To that, they added a $1,199 dock fee, and then there was $304.50 in taxable fees, which are our junk fees, sales tax, and a hefty $666 in government fees. Interesting number. Government fees are legitimate if they are in fact government fees. The total drive out the door, was $27,469. I was a little confused by the pricing and mentioned this to him. He retorted rather abruptly. I mean, not only is he a crook, but he's rude. And you don't get rude with customers. It's just not smart. If you want to really take advantage of a customer, you got to have that customer like you and trust you. You don't answer questions abruptly in an insulting tone of voice. That he said that he had given me a $10,755 discount. So kind of like, why are you asking these questions?
Right.
Yeah.
After this gift I've given you.
When I asked about an additional $3,000 charge, he snapped back, explaining that I didn't qualify for any of the discounts because I answered no to all the questions. So the questions were probably things like, are you a veteran? Are you currently on active duty in the military? Have you recently graduated from college? And anything else you could figure out?
Are you a realtor? No, I don't know. I don't know if that was one of them.
But see, this is really old school. This is what the really down and dirty dealers do. They look for any kind of possible discount from the manufacturer, from anybody, and no matter how obscure and remote the chance that the readers of the advertisement or the customer that comes in will qualify for any of these, much less all of them, the chances of qualifying for all of them are about like winning the monster lotto. It's not going to happen. At any rate, I expressed my discomfort with these fees and the entire situation, He interrupted me again, asserting that he had already explained everything. I mean, now he's got himself into an argumentative, adversarial relationship with the person he's trying to sell the car to. At this point, I was furious. I stood up, told him to forget it, and walked out. Now, Agent Lightning literally did this. She told us after the shopping report
she was mad.
that she got so mad, she just got the hell out of there. I mean, and she's a pro. I mean, she has shopped a lot of dealers.
It's amazing what she's like.
Had every kind of a treatment. And I think it's the first time she's ever lost her cool. She just stormed.
She's gotten angry before because she's had.
Yeah.
I mean, she's had like managers just confront her.
Yeah.
But no, we're not where she's just turn around and I just. But you know what? They need to see that, and I'm sure that that's not the only time that's happened at Sutherlin Nissan. I think
it's an interesting observation about Nissan is they score very low on the dealer attitude survey, and that's an inside thing most people don't know about. But annually, NADA surveys their car dealers
twice a year.
Yeah, twice a year, and the idea is. Manufacturers want to stay on the good side of the dealers to get their cooperation, and they value the results of that survey. They really push the dealers to fill the surveys out, and Nissan scores extremely low. The survey just came out, by the way, and Nissan was on the bottom. They typically have a very adversarial relationship with their dealers, and that breeds the type of dealers that we see here at Sutherlin. Nissan dealers, on the average, just don't treat their customers very well. And one of the reasons is Nissan themselves, the way they treat their dealers. We got to have the votes, and I think we probably get a lot of them.
We kind of know where this is going here. They're getting an F from me.
Right?
For me, F. Yeah, it's
too easy.
Don't even need to explain it. That's an F.
Do I even need to ask Nancy?
Rudeness, disrespect, and for that, I give them an F.
Yeah, we don't give Fs out lightly. I usually raise the score because I remind everybody about grading on the curve. But let me tell you something: curve or no curve, that's an F in spades, and I totally agree. Hi, this is Earl Stewart. Thank you for watching this video. If you would like to be notified of new videos that we post to our YouTube channel, simply click on the subscribe button and the bell icon in the lower right-hand side of the screen.